joining us from California. And
Um,
Jennifer, we have Michael from Nigeria. We have Mark from Durham, North Carolina, and we have Jim from Silicon Valley. And I'm Ankit from Delhi. And
and
welcome to IPN TV podcast on Thursday.
Jennifer,
Hey,
where are you from? Where are you from?
Philadelphia, PA. So,
Philadelphia.
yeah, yes.
Philadelphia, okay.
She's in Lynn's
I thought you.
backyard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how
Close
are you doing,
enough.
Jennifer? And tell us something about yourself.
What's that?
Tell us a little something about yourself.
Oh well, I'm a chess and poker player, and big part of what I do is bringing chess to more girls and women. So that's pretty fun. And this is apparently Podcasters Thursday, so I have two podcasts: Ladies Night and The Grid. Ladies Night is conversations with female chess players, and The Grid is about poker players and their most memorable hands.
But how do you spell night? Ladies' night. What? How do
Yeah,
you
so
spell
the K-N-I-G-H-T.
it? Like the piece, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Ladies' night
very
is
wonderful.
every bar has one, but this podcast is a little bit different.
Wow, wonderful. And what kind of ladies' night discussion you do on the podcast?
Well, some of the guests that we actually had Humpy Kineru recently
Oh,
from India. Yes, she's one of the
world
top
famous.
top women players in history, and yeah, we've had the most popular female streamer in the world, Alexandra Botez. She was our premier guest. So yeah, we have a lot of different like top chess personalities and grandmasters.
Well, Ankit is from New Delhi in India, and he wants to know like what are the best women chess players from India, and he's really into the rise of chess in India. And of course, Anand was world champion, and India is just coming up in the chess world.
But I'll tell you, India is one of the. But Jim, I'm not aware much about the chess fraternity and things like that. But I know that we are playing chess since ages in India, and we used to call it Shatranj, and it's playing since we have those kingdoms in India.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the current status about the chess in India, but I know that a lot of people and a lot of sportsmen follow chess and they play like anything. But I don't have a clarity about the chess association and things like that. But it picked up in my lifetime when Anand became the world champion, and that's how we came to know.
And that's happened in Norway because of Magnus Carlsen too. That's why I got involved, because of Bobby Fischer. But your focus, Jennifer, is more on women and more on girls. So tell me a little bit about how you're doing your thing to get girls into chess.
Yeah, well, and by the way, it looks like we lost our guest from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Michael
there's always a bandwidth issue in Nigeria, so he'll join back.
Oh, it's a bandwidth thing. Okay, because I'm curious to hear about women in chess in his country as well. But yes, I do a lot. So basically, for my work with U.S. Chess, what I do is I bring chess to girls via like live tournaments and grants. And then I'm also big on like just promoting like the cool accomplishments of female players. As for chess in India, Humpy Kineru is one of the greatest female players of all time.
Yeah.
She was actually the second. She actually beat Judith Polgar's record for the youngest grandmaster, which is pretty sensational. More recently, though, I think there's a bit of a boom in Indian chess, and that's both in the women's side and in the overall side. There's one player, Pratusha Boda, who was recently in the news for getting her, I believe, her women's grandmaster title. She recently, at least she got like the last norm. I'm looking at her Wikipedia and it hasn't been updated with it yet, but I was sure I read that she got it. And apparently when she got her last norm, there was like a big party in her city. So it's nice to
see. Wedding. One of our last shows was about weddings in India, and what a big performance they are. So I just slipped that in. But the women in India are advancing, but this is a global phenomenon, is it not, Jennifer?
You mean with more women playing?
More women
playing chess? Yeah. I mean, it's not growing as fast as we would like to, but it definitely is globally, I think, increasing. Yes, definitely.
So, Jennifer, if you compare chess with poker, what are the similarities?
Yeah.
Chess and poker, well, both of them require just like, especially now they're kind of converging to become more similar in that chess, you have to study very hard. You study your openings, you come up with like a repertoire and a very like bulletproof strategies. And I think poker is becoming a bit similar to that in the way that you study it using like these programs. That's actually kind of the concept of my podcast, The Grid, because a lot of the programs that poker players now use to hone their craft kind of reminds you of a flattened chessboard, because what they do is they take each possible hand and then they put it in like a square.
Yeah.
Well, Anka, Jennifer was a former U.S. women's champion, and Jennifer, that's a big deal to me. But how good are you in poker? You're also kind of a fantastic poker player, are you not?
Yeah, well, I'm a professional for Poker Stars, so I'm an ambassador for Poker Stars. By the way, there's an Indian woman on our team. Her name is Muskan Sethi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I pronounced that wrong.
Muskan.
Muskan is her first name. Her last name, Sethi. How do you pronounce that name? It's not Sethi, right?
Can you spell the word, because I'm not sure.
Sethi.
Sethi. Muskan Sethi.
Sethi. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yes. And she was one of my guests on The Grid as well. So she's quite remarkable too.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And so, what time you do your podcast? What day and what time?
Well, Ladies Night is once a month, and then Grid is like a few times a month, usually like every 10 days. So my husband edits The Grid, and we actually just won a Global Poker Award for the best podcast, which was pretty cool. Wow. Because in poker, the podcast format is very, very popular. Partly because in poker, you can actually learn how to be better at the game just by listening to a podcast, because you can kind of like hear the action and like improve your thought process. In chess, it's a little trickier. Podcasting, my friend Ben Johnson has the most popular chess podcast. It's called Perpetual Podcast. But it's not quite as easy to get better at chess by listening to a podcast. Hello again, you're back.
Yes.
Hey, I'm
back.
So how do I pronounce your first name? Okichukwu?
We say Michael.
Michael. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okichukwu. Just say Michael.
He makes it easy on me, Jen.
Okichukwu. Is it Okichukwu? Is that right? No, I messed it up. Okay, Michael. But I just say
you're good. You didn't. No, it's better. It's even better. I prefer yours.
Okichukwu.
It looks like what?
Jennifer Shahade.
You're good with it. Okichukwu. You're good.
Okichukwu. Yeah, it's not that hard.
No.
You know, it sounds like you. It sounds like it reads. You know.
Yeah. Phonetic. It's phonetic.
Yes, exactly. Phonetic. That's what I meant to say. Okichukwu. So, what's women's chess situation like in Nigeria? That you're from Nigeria, right? Okay.
There'll be a little delay.
Okay. Yes, I'm from Nigeria. Well, chess in Nigeria is okay, but it's not just as popular as other games. The ratio is a small one. Well.
Oh no, we lost him.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm back. Sorry, but I had too many windows open, so that's why I disappeared. But did he give us an answer to the question of what other games were popular? Because that's when my computer went haywire.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark. I can't tell you because he was breaking up too. And so Mark Lee is from North Carolina as well, and he does his podcast, and he's on Mondays on IBM TV. Is that right, Ankit? Did I get that right?
Yeah. And Mark does the podcast, which name is Radio Show on IBM TV.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a simul broadcast. So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. It's one of its kind radio show on IBM TV.
What's that?
It's one of its kind radio show on IBM TV.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Great to hear.
Yeah. And so that's my ultimate motive here, if getting you on this podcast, is to get you to become part of the IBM TV family. We could do a simul broadcast of you doing your podcast. But because everything is changing here on IBM TV. We're adding new shows. Like Michael's show is going to be broadcast once we work out the bandwidth issues. And so we just want people with enthusiasm, intelligence, and talking about their passion. And you have poker and chess as your passions. Now, of course, your son, I'm sure is part of your biggest passion in your life right now. But that's what we're looking for. People to come in here with some passion and intelligently talking about their passion. So that's why I thought of you, Jennifer.
Certainly,
Thank you.
certainly, Jennifer.
Thank you.
And
So,
also,
Jennifer, sorry, I'm back again.
what kind of
Tell me about your podcast and what you're all about. I'm Mark, and I do a podcast in North Carolina with a business partner of mine from New Jersey, and I also have a program here on IBM TV. Because after I'd been on this show a couple of times, they were kind enough to recognize some of my skills and abilities, and became one of my big fans and said, "Hey, we need Mark on our show." And then they Mark on our platform, and he recruited me. So I'm now on the IBM TV platform as well as my other platform. So just curious about you and the podcasting world.
And what did you say your podcast was called, by the way, Mark?
It's two of them. I actually have the one here on IBM.TV, which is the radio show with Mark Lee, and that's on Monday afternoons, 2 to 3:30. And they first discovered me on the one that I've been doing for 6 years called Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. So that is on Monday evenings, 7 to 9. And we talk to creatives, activists, entrepreneurs, educators, and with what's going on in the world now, we talk to health people as well because of what's going on in the world.
Nice. And your partner is your partner in that show, and you guys both see eye to eye a lot of the time, or a lot of arguments?
We see eye to eye on a lot of things, but there's some things that we disagree on. He's actually we actually met by the person that created the podcast, and then we did not see eye to eye with her all that much, and that's part of the reason that she vanished, because even in the direction that the podcast was going to go, we didn't see eye to eye. But I'm here in Durham, North Carolina, and he's actually in New Jersey, so he's involved in the prison industrial complex. He's actually a administrator there, and I'm involved in the activist community as well as the media and the arts community down here. So, and I've got a number of friends that are entrepreneurs, as does he, and he's also got he's a member of the NAACP, so he's got some ties to that activist community up there. So,
great.
like I said, a lot of the stuff we agree on, but there's sometimes that we don't always agree, but we just respectfully agree to disagree.
There you go.
Sounds like a great pod. You said he's involved in the prison industrial complex. Do you mean like fighting against its injustices, or he's working in?
That would be more me and my friends. He definitely sees some of the problems with the system, but he actually works in the system. He is actually an administrator and a prison guard.
So he's so he's interested in making it better from inside, and you guys talk about that a lot in your podcast.
We do talk about it quite a bit. Yeah. It comes up quite a bit, particularly lately with Black Lives Matters and things of that nature. So it definitely comes up in the conversation. So we actually had a civil rights attorney, Robert Patella, that was on this past Monday.
You notice how Jennifer went right to interviewer mode?
Yeah.
You know how I can roll with that, and I can be either the interviewee or the interviewer. So I'm used to it. I came out of the radio.
Yeah, I know. Me too. And I was before Chukwu.
And Jennifer, you know that whenever we have to say no to Mark, we have to do like this so that Mark will stop.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's sign off. Yeah.
So Chukwu, he cut out, but he was telling me I was very curious about, speaking of interviewing people, I was curious about the situation of chess, and particularly women and girls learning chess in Nigeria. But I think there's a little.
Yes, like I was saying.
Michael,
is my mic okay?
Your mic is fine.
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah, go ahead.
Is my mic okay?
You're
all right. Good. Good. When it comes to chess in Nigeria, it's not that popular compared to the States and other places. I was fortunate to learn chess while I was in secondary school. You understand, like the high school, and we attended competitions, chess competitions. That was where I got to, improve my skills, and I got to understand chess. But when it comes to the women aspect, they are not really much. Girls don't really fancy playing chess. Like like how it's been done in other countries, but it's just low. Women playing chess in Nigeria, it's very low. But honestly, let me use this medium to say what I express my mind. After the first interview I had with you guys last week, which was on Thursday podcast, I noticed everyone coming into the room were chess players. And it really got me to go back because I left chess for about, I've not played chess for about 15 years now. And so anybody that gets me will really whoop me. I've been out of chess because one is not really promoted the way other games are being promoted, and you hardly see players, chess players, except you reconnect with the old players. So I've had it on my mind. I think I will need to start promoting the chess game here in Nigeria by first of all going back to high schools and get connected back to the federation and see how we could start games and tournaments in school, especially in Lagos and nationwide. I think that in that way we could enlighten a lot of people on how to play chess, and they'll really find the game interesting because when I was playing chess, I found it really, really interesting.
Yes. But Michael, you earlier, before Jennifer joined us, you told me that it's a bit of elitism in Nigeria. So chess is only available to the elite rather than to the school children, for example. And that is what you were saying. Am I correct?
Yeah. But what about Tani Aduwumi?
Yes. Can you
repeat the name, Jennifer?
Oh, you were saying that in Nigeria there's a lot of elitism in who gets to access chess, right?
Yeah.
And I was wondering about
chess is not just a normal game like. Yeah. Go. You're wondering about who? Sorry.
The young man who's the young boy, actually, I think he's almost 10 now. Tani Adewumi, he's like almost 2,200. I think he was born in Nigeria and then he recently emigrated to the United States. Did you ever come across him? I guess when he was playing, when he learned in Nigeria, he wasn't very strong yet. He kind of got really good at the game in New York City. But this all happened so rapidly. Apparently he learned it at a print shop. He learned how to play chess at a print shop.
Okay, now you feel like I said, chess is like an elite game. That's for the elites here because you hardly find players.
Mm-hmm.
You hardly see people playing chess. We have other games that we call Ludo. We have one we call Ludo. We have the one we call draft. It's like chess, but we don't have those pawns. It's just like seeds all over the tables. It's quite. It's 100% different from chess.
Yeah.
That's a common game you can walk into any place and see. So why I said chess is for the elites is because all my life I've met chess players. I've not seen probably someone just a common that I want to be careful on the phrase I want to use. I've not seen any just a stranger. Let me use that word, stranger playing chess. You can hardly see the game being played, and like I live in a part of Lagos. It's kind of if you ask, it looks like a bit remote. You understand? And I was driving by with my wife last week, and I saw two guys playing chess. And I told my wife, "Wow, in this place playing chess, you had." And I said I was going to get connected to those people and with them, so that I will probably we'll use that opportunity to build that chess game. So for that boy, probably he saw two elites playing that game. It's not common. I know what I'm telling you.
Yes,
it's not really common to see the game played. And okay, now I live in a city called Lagos. So Lagos is like a very big city. It's just like New York, the New York of America. So Lagos is like the New York of Nigeria. I didn't learn chess here. I had to learn it in my hometown, Anambra State. It's a different state entirely. and that still looks like remote, but that was where I learned chess. Do you understand? And I learned it because of the school I went to. So I understand what you're saying about, being playing, but that boy was opportune. And if you notice, he improved his skills when he got to America, because America has that platform
Right.
of building people to play chess. That's what happens.
Well, Michael, the EAT Foundation, if you go to eatfoundation.org, you'll see it's Chess Without Borders. So I'm coming after you in Nigeria. I'm going to make you teach. I'm going to have people teaching people chess. All the kids are going to know how to play chess. And if they need sets and equipment, I'll send them to it. So we can change that. That's because when I
Jim, how about
give me the link again.
How about a virtual chess school? How about a virtual chess school by Jim Maid, and we can supply chess boards to the world?
Hey, that's my mission. Chess Without Borders. And if you can't, I want to build a community, and I want everybody to join it and build communities through chess. And so if you're part of a community, you're never alone. So let's play chess everywhere without borders. We don't care what you look like. We don't care how tall you are. It's not like basketball where you have to be a certain size. Anybody can play chess. We run the World Championship, the FIDE World Championship for players with disabilities, and anybody can play chess, and they prove it. They proved it to me, and I've watched them do it. So I think whatever the problem is, when I grew up in the United States, I didn't walk and see anybody playing chess. It was not popular. Bobby Fischer won the World Championship, and it became popular. So it just takes something, a spark, and then you'll light a fire in Nigeria for the chess players to be.
So we're gonna have a whole Nigerian population of chess players. I like the idea, but like I said, we're going to McDonald's and seeing people playing checkers, but not playing chess. They were playing checkers, so we got to get them away from checkers into chess. So I'm sure checkers is popular over there. I got a question for Jennifer, since she was interviewing me and everything, which is this whole thing about poker and everything. Because there's certain games that I am good at. I am not good at poker. For one thing, you have to be able to have that poker face. I can't have the poker face. So, like, if you got those cards and those good cards, I reveal them with my face. So I'm looking at your face. I'm thinking you got a good poker face. So I'm thinking that you're probably
smiling at you, Mark. You're in trouble.
Not knowing what you've got in your hand.
Well, yes, it is. It is a little hard. Maybe you should stick to chess. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about poker. If you get really good and study the game, you kind of start thinking about what hands you could have, not just what you have. And then maybe your poker face won't be as bad because you're kind of like absorbed in like something else, not just like your desires to win the hand.
There you go. Good advice, sir.
That's a good tip.
I like that advice. Now, I remember there was a time that poker was very popular. There was a show called Up All Night or something like that.
That's right. Right.
I did used to watch that. I think it was set in Vegas, and it was a woman host, and she would definitely the poker players were mostly men, but the commentator was a woman, and I think that's part of the reason people stayed up at 2 o'clock in the morning, was to see her in kind of like that wrestler girl kind of mentality and everything. Not so much watching the poker players. That's just my take on it. But I remember that show being popular, like maybe in the 2000s or something around that time.
Yeah,
so,
poker after dark.
Is that show still on? And are there a lot of women that are playing poker?
Yeah, there are a decent amount of women playing poker. It's probably similar to chess. There's maybe more women poker players than women. No, actually, I'd say it's pretty close, because the thing about chess is that there's a lot of girls who play, and girls can't play poker. It's illegal, right? It's for only adult women. So that really helps, because I think that in chess, we're seeing this boom of girls chess. In poker, it's hard because I guess women have more of like responsibilities sometimes with childcare and housework. So it can be difficult to have the time to go play in a live casino environment. But that's why it's nice. There's also online options.
Yeah, and that's what I was
And
going to
Jennifer,
ask.
we have
Online options
Alexandra
are
Star
probably
joining
more
us.
popular than the other kind of options that are out there just because it's easier to do. And I'm going to say that I went for the first time ever. I've always wanted to go further out west to like California. Still want to get out to California. But about a year and a half ago, I went for the first time ever to Las Vegas. And the first thing I noticed about Las Vegas was as soon as you step off the plane, they're waiting for you. So they've already got the poker machines sitting there. They've got all the gambling machines. So they are waiting for you. They're ready to take your money as soon as you step off the plane. I'm sure the same thing at the bus terminal and the train station. So they've got it planned. Just like I said, even if you are not a gambler, and I don't consider myself, well, I do fantasy football. So I guess in that sense, I'm a gambler, but and not a card gambler. And even if you're not one, they're going to sucker you into playing. So I'm not going to lie. I did play the slots a couple of times while I was there, and I lost. But I played the little slot machine, and I think I might have even played one of the poker slot machines. So I'm thinking that online might make poker even more popular. What are your thoughts on that, Jennifer?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, first of all, I love Las Vegas, so your description makes me miss it. Actually, though, I'm not really much of a gambler. I just like to play poker and see my friends, and I think Vegas is one of the most beautiful cities in America. It's very like picturesque. There's so many hiking trails. The food is amazing. They got all the best restaurants. So yeah, I really miss it because I usually go there every year. But it kind of also it also kind of makes me think of how grateful I am to have had all those experiences. And this year of no travel, I can at least look back on them fondly. Um, you know, and I noticed that we have a new guest.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Alexander has
we have
rejoined us.
Alexandra, and he's a part of IBM family, and he is a chess master, and he also a poker specialist. And Alexandra, you know Jennifer? She's the
I
former
met you
champion.
met once in Toronto. Yes, I remember, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
In Toronto. Hello. Yeah, you do
How
look
are you?
familiar. How's it going? Good to see you.
Oh, I love your and Yasser and Morris commentaries during these tournaments that recently were held. And I'll tell you, my impression is that the commentaries are way more interesting and yeah, joyful than the games themselves. I'm not trying to sound critical about these chess games. Of course, they're under a very fast time control or so on, so there are mistakes or so on. But that's not important. The commentaries, that's what makes it experience. Without that, there would be just a bunch of moves. Some of them are very good, some of them are not so good. But that's you see I appreciate that these tournaments are being held because right now it's very critical time in overall chess, classical chess, of course, but all forms of chess. And if you read, I don't think that you did, but maybe there was an article by Genna Sasonko on a site chessnews.ru. It's in Russian. And I talked to him a week ago and I asked him if he would like to have this article translated into English. He was very hesitant. And then at the end of the day, he said that probably not. Um, because there are some controversial thinking about the chess and its future and its present, of course, too. And basically, he's saying that the major question now is whether the weekend there to 2021 will be held. If it will be held, then there could be return to normal classical chess, and if not, then he is very skeptical of the future of classical chess. So that would leave us basically with all these online tournaments. But even online tournaments, he's saying that because of cheating, and regardless what all sites like chess.com and others are claiming that they found a way to prevent cheating, of course, we all know that it's impossible in the next 750 years. And without that, it's very suspicious activities. I want to tell you myself, I experienced it yesterday. I played on chess.com. What my rating is about 2200. So I played somebody 2450. I lost 3 games in a row. And of course, he's simply much stronger player than I am. That's fine. So I went down to play some 1900 players. Okay, I beat him a couple of times. He challenged me again. And here's something happened. He's playing first move A4, then H4, then A5, H5, some meaningless moves, absolutely. So after opening, I had not winning the close with position. Then all of a sudden things started to change. His moves became way much stronger. He was able to consolidate his position. And not only a few moves later, I didn't have any advantage, but couldn't even see how to continue and how to at least hold the position. After I lost that game, plus three more games. So I knew that the guy is using the engine. His rating was 1900, and he was doing it as a demonstration that okay, here we are. This is a real world. I will cheat, and there is nothing you can do about that, and so on. So what Gina Sasonka wrote in his article is that he hopes that the cheating is not yet into elite games. And then he put in brackets, although, let's see. Um, well, so let's take hypothetical situation where there's a tournament of, say, 12 players. And those who will take first to 10th place are continuing into the next tournament, and the guy who is 11th and 12th are eliminated and will not get invitation to the next tournament, and therefore they will not get their prizes, and they and their family will suffer financial consequences of that, and so on. There is a great temptation if in the last game the guy who is in 11th place plays the guy who is in 10th place, and he will try to do anything possible and impossible to win. And it's very difficult to fight the temptation to use engine, even not during the whole game, but at least in a couple of moves which are critical to outcome of the game. And furthermore, he could convince him doing so because he would think that, well, if I'm not going to do it, then the guy who is in 10th place and who wants to draw or win the game, he may use some kind of engine and help himself. So, okay, so even if I will use the engine here and there, so he probably also will do that. At least we're on an equal footing and I have a fighting chance. So if that happens, there is no way to detect it, and this is a huge threat to chess game. I don't care online, offline, elite players or not so elite players. This is a huge thing, and this is one of the reasons why I've invented the contest where cheating is impossible and where everyone has a chance. Because what makes poker so popular, and it's on TV, it's everywhere, that everyone has a chance. Unlike in chess, where don't only you don't have any chance when you play highly strong and high-rated players, but even if you play equal players because of the cheating, uh, your results are highly unpredictable and maybe much worse than otherwise. So at least in this form of chess, there is everyone has a chance. The prizes can go to a large family of chess lovers, chess players, chess enthusiasts. They all have chances to win like in poker. So therefore, the chess as a process by itself will become way much popular than in the present form. So last Saturday we had a first-time contest on IBM TV. We had Grandmaster Shirov playing the Grandmaster Mikhail Marin from Romania. Shirov won the match one and a half, and we had about 100 participants and they all had a good time. We had some about 8 prizes. They're not large. The first prize was $50 and so on, but at least everyone had a chance to win. There was no cheating. There were commentaries, there were hints of a stockfish on the screen, so you don't have to hide and use your chess programs. It's right on your screen, so you can use that. And when Gary Kasparov endorsed this activity, and he commented and did his predictions during the final match between Wesley So and Alexander Kostyanyuk. It was very joyful experience, and right now I'm preparing the World Championship for move predictors. So I'm trying to not to get anything away from elite and from chess overall, because let's see the chess overall financial structure is, I would estimate, as $10 million a year, including World Championship match, etc. I want to create another addition to that, so to increase prize funds available to chess lovers, but to have a competition where everyone has a chance, just like in poker.
Sounds good.
Sasha, what you're talking about is a brilliant idea, and your show is on Saturdays. What time is it?
It's at 3 o'clock, but the contest, there were a couple of technical things that I have to take care of. So the next contest will be most likely on 27th of June. And I will have to pair sheriff against someone else. And I don't know if anybody else wants to play sheriff because it's not a very pleasant experience. However, I have,
I can vouch for that.
yeah, I have a couple of players who want. Also, I would like to get more women playing these matches, but with women, it's more difficult because they're more cautious than men, and because it's on their faces are on screen, so they have to look certain way, and so they have to prepare themselves. And I told many times a story about when I was in an event, and there was a lady, a singer, and she sang one song for 3 minutes. She was paid $750, and I was quite surprised to learn that for 3 minutes somebody can make $750. And I actually asked her how she can justify $750 for a 3 minute song. She said, "Oh my God, you're crazy. You don't understand what you're talking about. I have to get up in the morning. I have to do my hair. I have to do makeup. I have to to choose my dress. I have to do so many things. I have to get a driver who will drive me to this event. I have to show up, and everybody will see me. So my song is worth maybe $25, but the fact that I had to come and appear and do all that, that's $750. I have to be paid twice as much, maybe even 3 times.
Yes,
So
Sasha.
that's
Sasha,
how she justified it.
you have a love of chess. You have a love of gambling. I know.
Yes, I
And
do.
Jennifer is not only a great chess player, but she's also a great poker
Yes.
player. Which
Yes,
you
she
know.
is.
Yes, and so
Absolutely.
I wonder. Sasha is also a great musician. And Jennifer,
Thank
do you
you.
have any musical talents?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
study.
where the similarities end.
Yeah, maybe when I was a kid, I could have tapped into something, but I haven't been very a natural in anything musical, whether it's dance or trying to sing or even listening for notes. So
Hey Jennifer, how similar do you think chess and poker are? Because, like I said, I know that they're both brain games, and I'm actually pretty good with chess. Don't think I'm all that good with poker, as I said. But just in your mind, since you're a master at both of them, how similar do you find the games to be? And this is my question for everybody: is there any game out there that you haven't mastered that you would like to learn? Like I remember growing up, folks were into cribbage, and I've always thought that was a fascinating game, and I might want to get a cribbage set and try to learn it even though I don't even know what a cribbage set looks like.
yeah,
So, Mark, I will start as a rookie basically because they are a professional. So, when we talk about poker, I would like to play poker with friends so that we can earn, because it's not good to play with family. And chess we can play with family because there is no money involved.
Well,
Jennifer, I'd like to ask you one question. Among many other talents that you have you ever tried investing, and what is your experience with that?
on me.
Yeah.
I do. I guess I've always taken the advice that my time is valuable in the things that I'm good at. So with investing, I usually do the passive route with the index funds. As also, I'm I've been Rex Sinkfield's chess coach for many years, and so I asked his advice, and he tells me that. So it's just it especially makes sense if you're not in that industry, because then you just passively invest and you don't spend any time thinking about it, rather than trying to like do research when you could be spending that time doing something that adds more value to the world. So that's always been kind of my approach. I mean, I've gotten I learned a little bit about crypto from my time in poker, but I didn't really dive deep into it like many poker players did. But I'm excited about the fact that there are these creative ideas to approaching like the future of money. So yeah, if that answers your question.
Well, there's a great similarity between investments and poker, and
Of course,
actually
yeah,
chess.
that's definitely
Yesterday had my program about investing, modern investing with Sasha. And actually, I'm very proud of the program because I watched it again after it was recorded. And I'll tell you, if I would do it again, I would do it exactly the same way, because everything what I said in that program is 100% right on. However, what I have to mention.
where
I
is
did
the
notice one difference though between chess and poker in my mind, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But chess seems to be a very universal game, meaning that it doesn't cost that much to get a chess set. It doesn't cost that much to learn the game, things of that nature. Poker to me seems to be a little bit more, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, Jennifer, but to me sometimes it seems to be a little bit more elitist, particularly competitive poker, because I don't see that many people of diversity in the game the way I do with chess. So is that just me looking? Because I don't see that many like on the competitive. Like when I watch it on TV, I don't see that many minority poker players.
But
I don't
yeah,
think so. I mean,
it's a little
I
bit,
think poker is picking up now.
huh?
Anybody want to take the question?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, in some ways I agree, because in poker, you need to have a certain amount of money, and if you don't have that, then it's very difficult. Like that's a barrier to access, kind of like in investing. But and compared to like investing, the amount is a lot lower. So you could have like $10,000 bankroll and start playing a lot of poker games. You couldn't like have $10,000 and really start investing very seriously. Maybe you could. I don't know. Maybe there's micro. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe there's like sites where you can really manage that, a smaller bankroll, and actually learn a lot. But in poker with live, you might need something like 10K minimum. But online, you can even have $500 or $100 and just play what we call micro tournaments to build it up. So the barrier to entry is higher live, and part of that is the economics of poker, because you need to hire dealers and a floor manager and all that. So if you're having people pay for very small amounts, you're not going to be able to afford the staff to set the game up. But I agree with you that that's unfortunate that poker has that barrier to entry, especially live. Are there minorities that play poker? Yes. It's very popular in Asian communities. Many people think the greatest poker player of all time is Phil Ivey, who's a black man. So there's some representation, but it's not as high as we would like to do it to be. And a lot of that has to do with the economic realities that we're living with in America. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
what's interesting, Jennifer, what's interesting is that the poker made it very.
But where it becomes very popular is the lottery, because there's all those poker games that you can pay $1 on, and you hope you win something, and you might not win anything, or you might win $5. You might win 100,000 or a million or anything. So it seems to me that the lottery is very popular with their poker games. And I'm just wondering, as a poker player, what do you think of the state lotteries? Because a lot of them have the poker games in the lottery, but that's not the same as real poker in my mind.
Well, it's a bit unfortunate, because my understanding of most lotteries, especially scratch-off tickets, is that they don't give a lot per dollar. So that I feel like that is potentially a little predatory, or it could be seen that way. That said, I know that a lot of times the proceeds go to like public good and taxes, and certainly if you play responsibly, whether it's poker or lotto tickets, the amount of joy you can get from having a rush could be greater than the few dollars of equity you lose here and there. The bigger that I think that's quite clear. It's true for a lot of people. The problem is there's problem gamblers who get addicted to gambling, and that's where it needs to be. The state definitely needs to be able to monitor that, because it certainly can become a negative force in people's lives rather than like what should it be, which is entertainment.
Very good. Very well said.
Agreed.
What I would
Right.
like to
I'd
observe
like to
one
ask you a question,
interesting
Jennifer.
thing. Excuse me. Poker made very well on TV, in spite of the fact that there is no really a playing process, because you've dealt 2 cards and then you have 3 more cards opening up, then river and so on. And yet it's very attractive and people are watching it. And chess, where the whole game is a playing process, and it's really fascinating how many positions are available in chess and the great combinations. And I do consider chess to be an art. And in my programs, I show great games of Rubinstein and Lelkin and Tal and many other players. And yet, poker, because of its well suited for TV, and especially when they started with showing the 2 cards of each player, and they show the odds, what you have to win the hand, and the colorful commentaries talking about the players and so on. Poker made it very, very big, and chess is not there yet, and I'm not sure if and when it will be there.
I don't know about that. It's very, very popular now. I think it's like it's been like the most popular channel on Twitch over the last week or something because of this thing that chess.com is going. I think chess is actually more booming right now than poker by a lot.
No, I'm talking about regular cable TV programs. You can find poker on several TV programs.
True, but the thing is, a lot of young people are watching their gaming on the internet. So I'm not. Yeah, I think as chess is actually really experiencing a quite incredible boom. Will it
Yeah,
eventually
on internet, agree. Yes.
coming on cable? Probably, if they start seeing the numbers on the internet, maybe that will finally happen. I think it's due time. But anyway,
Yeah.
I had a great time meeting everybody. Good to see you again,
Thank you,
Alexander.
Jennifer.
Good to meet you.
Well, great to see you, Jennifer.
We would like to see more shows on IBM TV.
And where can I find it at? What platforms? And how can I learn more about what you've got going on with learning about poker and chess and whatever else? And do you talk about any issues on your show?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen Shahade. And I always post all the updates to my podcast, and they're all on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple. It's the Poker Grid and Ladies Night. And I think you can easily find them by using my name, Jennifer Shahade, also. So thank you so much, Mark.
Jennifer, before you go, we would like to offer you a show on IBM TV if you are available. We can run your show on IBM TV.
Oh, let me find out more details about that, because what I do with my podcast is my husband's a editor. He used to be a film editor and he's a producer. So we actually intensively edit them. Like, our philosophy is that people have limited time. So we try to cut down all the fat. None of it is just like me talking. That's what my Twitch channel is for. I have a Twitch channel at Jen Shahade where I just riff. Our podcasts, we really try to just chisel it so that it's like a one little package. So we don't exactly do I'm just on the air talking for an hour live, which it seems like you guys are more doing the live. It's more of like a streaming platform.
Yeah, we believe in live because then there is no production involved basically, and there is no production cost involved. And when we have a live audience, and then those audience watch our show recorded around the world on different time zones. So right now we have people from Nigeria, from US, from other countries, Canada and all. And we have followers around the world watching you live. So that is what the best part is. We have 2 different audiences, live and recorded.
That's great. Well, congratulations on all you've done. And yeah, definitely let me know more information about that. Sure. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and good to meet you guys. Really,